envision a world where every child on the planet has access to education. Because education changes everything. It enables, it empowers, it gives voice, it gives choice, it protects the environment, it promotes peace. For the past 25 years, Mona Foundation has partnered with grassroots organizations around the world to make this vision a reality. Since 1999, our reach has grown from educating 4 students in 2 countries to over 4.2 million students through 41 grassroots partners in 23 countries across 4 continents. Imagine the diversity. Each partner, a beacon of hope and progress. Each student, a world of potential. Now, imagine a world where every child has access to education. A world where knowledge triumphs over ignorance, where prosperity replaces poverty, and where service to others is a way of life. This isn't just a dream. It's a future we are writing together. Be the change you want to see. Join us to educate 10 million kids by 2030. Together, we can build a better world for all children everywhere.
Shall we start, Joel?
Yes.
Wonderful.
My Zoom is acting weird. There we go. Okay.
There you go. Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mahnaz Javid, and I'm thrilled to be here with you. Want to thank, of course, the Global Washington for giving us this opportunity to be together and honestly just share with you our experiences and learnings in the past 25 years about what our work and what we have done in support of the grassroots organization. So as you saw from this very brief introductory video, our vision is really to provide access to education to every child on the planet, honestly, because education changes everything. And since 1999, our inception, we've been busy doing that. And this is a very important point that we'd like to make this session through supporting grassroots organizations that focus on education for all, empowering women and girls, and of course, fostering ethics and service, really to create and develop, not create, but grow and develop change agents that not only transform their own lives, but also transform the lives of their families and communities for the better and sustain their development. So you saw from the video that we started in 1999 with supporting 2 students in 2 countries in 2 schools on a budget of $5,000. That's how it started. We are not a huge, big organization. That was our starting budget. And since then, Since our inception, 1999, we are thrilled to really find out for ourselves through going through our archival materials and so forth, that through the past 25 years, we have had the privilege and the honor and the pleasure of supporting these grassroots organizations to educate 4.2 million students through 41 partner organizations in 23 countries. And on a budget, our last year's budget was 2.3 million. So people ask always, okay, how do you do that? How do you educate 4.2 million students on an annual budget? The most last year was 2.7. And our answer has always been, it is totally because of our approach to our work and our mission and our belief in development, in that development happens at the local level. Sustainable development cannot be imported, cannot be given, cannot be or exported, but it is all about, at least our approach has always been to focus on addressing the root causes of poverty through the two key levers of education and gender equality, and of course, the service as a way of life to build community forward. So we also, one of the distinguishing feature of our approach has been providing long-term support, not in the form of multi-year grants and so forth, but truly staying with our partner organizations for the duration until they don't need us anymore. So our average years of support of our partner organizations is about 10 years. Some organizations that we still work with, we have been working with since our inception in 2000. And so providing long-term support so that the local community and the grassroots organization build their own capacity to be, as Heifer said this morning in the plenary session, to be the architects of their own future, the protagonists of their own development. And of course, we couldn't do that without incredible partner organizations that we select through a very specific process, and the generosity of our donors. And this is how we have been able to achieve supporting 4.2 million students on a very small budget. So this documentary that you will see, Light and Air, is just one example out of 4.2 million stories of one organization through the lens of a few students at Barley Institute for Development of Rural Women in Indore, India. But consider it just one example that we have selected to show how this approach to building capacity at the grassroots, in fact, not only it transforms the lives of the individuals that are participating, but through them, the lives of their families and their communities, and changing the hearts and minds of their community members on the social norms that inhibits progress in their localities. So consider that just one example. The film, we were thrilled to be able to engage Marco Rios Bollinger, who is an impact filmmaker, Peruvian American. He'd done work with UN Refugees Agency, as well as the National Geographic and many other organizations, and also in creating currently a series called Hidden Heroes, exactly about the kind of people that Mono Foundation has had the privilege of supporting, who are not known, they don't have the fame or fortune, but that they are truly the instrument of the transformation of their communities overall. I honestly had the privilege of being involved in the process of finding their story and starting the process of film, documenting it with Marco for the first 3 weeks of the documentary, which took place in Indore, India, and all the surrounding villages. And the point that I really truly want to make and leave with you before you leave is that, and before we start the documentary, is that I have been to India many, many times. We worked with 5 different organizations in India. I have traveled there. We have tried with our board members, our staff, and our donors that come along with us to truly get into the lives and learning and understanding the places we operate in. But honestly, I never understood the journey that the characters that in this film that you will see had to walk, and all the obstacles that they had to overcome to get from where they actually live to where they are right now. Because for the first time, they kindly invited us to their homes in their villages, hosted us, and I learned, where some of our students come from very, very, very humble backgrounds in very rural villages without access to all the basic comforts of life, cohabiting in a very small space, with their animals, and their families and their extended families and so forth. So from there to now getting their PhDs at the universities and coming and returning back to their villages to really try to continue this process of development. We hope that you enjoy the Light and Air. We picked the name from a quote by one of the graduates of Barley Institute, who said that receiving an education is like being in a closed door and opening a window and light and allowing the light and air to flood the room. We felt that was very wonderful simile for education. So enjoy Light and Air.
मेरा नाम लीला डावर है, ग्राम कालीबेल, जिला अलीराजपुर। जब मजदूरी जाती थी तो ऐसा लगता था कि कोई रास्ते में जा रहा है, पढ़ने जा रहे हैं, छोटे बच्चे स्कूल में पढ़ रहे हैं, तो हमको भी लगता था कि हम भी पढ़ते तो कितना अच्छा होता। यहाँ 5वीं तक यहाँ पे स्कूल में गई। फिर उसके बाद में ऐसा हुआ कि वहाँ पे टीचर लोग बोलते हैं कि स्कूल ड्रेस नहीं है, ऐसे करके बोलते हैं कि मतलब तुमको स्कूल से बाहर निकाल देंगे, स्कूल ड्रेस नहीं है। फिर मैंने सोचा कि पैसे तो है नहीं, ड्रेस नहीं है, अब क्या करूँ। स्कूल फिर छोड़ दी, फिर मजदूरी चले गई थी मैं।
कि मम्मी पापा खड़े हो जाएं, बहुत अच्छा लगेगा। आपको कैसा लग रहा है? आपकी बेटी सिर्फ नाम ही नहीं सब कुछ अब लिख सकती है, ऐसी और भी बच्चियां हैं। अच्छा लग रहा है? अब इसको और आगे पढ़ाना चाहेंगे? जितना भी ये पढ़ना चाहे उतना पढ़ाना चाहेंगे? बहुत अच्छी बात। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करूँगी आप दोनों सामने आ जाएं और अपने हाथों से इसको एक ट्रॉफी दें। आ जाइए, आ जाइए, पापा भी आ जाइए। हम एक पौधा लगाते हैं तो उसे सूरज की रोशनी चाहिए ना, पानी चाहिए, समय पे खाद चाहिए। वो चीज़ बच्चियों को, हर बच्चे को आगे बढ़ने के लिए चाहिए। वो है वो सही माहौल जो यहाँ पर उन्हें संस्थान में मिलता है। The initiatives of Barli are so important, particularly because the area where we focus upon, Alirajpur, has a very low literacy rate of 31%, probably the lowest in Asia. You'll find a very big gender gap. You'll find girls who have never been to school and their brothers who have completed engineering. और रीना कैसी है भाई? तुम्हारे घर आई गए हम आखिरकार। बहुत सुंदर लग रही है। The heart of Barli's curriculum is development of myself and my community, which inspires them to start community-driven projects. That's how the sisterhood or the senior girls form very close relationships. अरे वाह, सुमित्रा आई गई। बहुत बहुत बधाई हो। अरे वाह, राजकुमार पैदा हो गया। अनमोल, ये देखो अनमोल, ये है काली, ये है रोली, ये लीला, छोटा रीना, ये अनमोल है, सुमित्रा का लाडला। The sisterhood army is like fighting against the social setup which denies women equal rights or equal voice or equal opportunities. Slowly, it's like a ripple effect. They gather in their fold new sisters who have the same ideology, and along with those sisters are their families. And this is how it grows and multiplies. और अब हम सब मिलकर कई लड़कियों को पहला कदम उठाने में मदद करना चाहते हैं।
हाँ जी दीदी।
तो कौन कौन सी लड़कियां तुमने अभी पता की जिसके घर अपन को जाके मिलना है आज?
हाँ।
जो बर्ली संस्थान में आना चाहती है?
हमारे यहाँ 2 लड़के हैं, वो आएंगे तेरे, तो जाके बोलूंगी कि वहाँ सीखने जाओ, कोई दिन कमा के खाई, आगे बढ़े।
तो वो स्कूल गई हैं कि नहीं गई हैं कभी?
नहीं गई है।
वो स्कूल नहीं गई हैं।
हाँ।
तो ये बहुत सेवा का काम है कि जो कभी लड़की स्कूल नहीं गई, हम
हाँ।
उसको बर्ली संस्थान में भेजकर पढ़ने का एक मौका देंगे।
मौका दे।
पहला कदम जो होता है ना, वो सबसे जरूरी होता है। अगर इंसान पहला कदम उठाए तो बहुत आगे तक चल सकता है। तुम्हें क्या लगता है काली ने कैसे पहला कदम उठाया?
काली अपने पहला कदम कैसा उठाया?
मैंने पहले कदम क्या उठाया फिर? सिलाई सीखने गई थी। सिलाई सीख के आके न मैंने दुकान डाली थी। सिलाई नहीं सीखते तो आज कहाँ से कहाँ रहते हैं। ये तो सिलाई सीख के आए ना, मतलब ऐसे काम धंधा सीख के आए ना, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं। अपन हिम्मत हारे तो नहीं कर सकते, सोचने से नहीं होता, करने से होता। क्योंकि करके छोड़ो, मतलब मैंने पहले से ही सोचा था कि कहीं यहाँ जमीन लूंगी तो मतलब सिलाई करते करते मतलब घर से तो नहीं आना पड़े। मैंने पहले से ही सोचा था। अभी भी सोच रहे कि चक्की लूंगी, चक्की लेके ना पापा को वहीं रखूंगी।
Kali is the silent hero. Behind that soft-spoken lady is a very iron-willed determination. There are women who are physically challenged who come to Kali and ask how she has changed her life so much. And then Kali tells them, go to Barli. You will see a change in your attitude. You will realize that you can make your own decisions. You can change your life. It's all within. She rides her scooter, maneuvers through the traffic and bustling streets of Ali Rajpur with so much ease. She does the same gracefully through the twists and turns of her life. Whatever life throws to her, she knows how to give back. The curriculum at Barley's encompasses sustainable community development, literacy, health, organic agriculture, solar technologies. Above all, it's the realization that education is not merely about learning to read and write. It can unlock your hidden potential. It makes you lead more meaningful and purposeful lives. So that's the true purpose of Barley's. Impart education to girls who have never been to school or those who are school dropouts, and to enable them to restart their education.
मुझे पढ़ना है। कितनी मैं मजदूरी करूंगी ऐसा लगता है। पापा थे तो तब पढ़ाने के लिए वो करते थे, पर पापा बीमार हो गए तो फिर भाई लोग बोलते थे कि पढ़ लिख कर क्या करेगी, तो लड़की है ऐसे बोलते थे। बरली सिलाई सीखने जाना है तो बड़े भैया से पूछा तो वो मना करे कि अभी बीज बोने का समय है तो अभी सिलाई सीखने नहीं जा सकती है। तो फिर मैंने सोचा अब क्या करूंगी, मैंने नाम तो लिखवा दिया। यहाँ से जाने के लिए बस स्टैंड पे तो पैसे हो जाएंगे, पर वहाँ से इंदौर जाने के लिए 500 रुपये लगते हैं। इतने तो पैसे हैं नहीं। सुमित्रा दी ने बोला यहाँ पे मेरे पास पैसे हैं, वो ले जाओ और जाओ बरली में। बड़े वाला भैया ससुराल में चले गए और छोटे वाले भाई वो बकरी के लिए चारा लेने गए। फिर मामा के लड़के के साथ फिर वहाँ बस स्टॉप गए। अपना रास्ता तो खुद को बनाना पड़ता है ना। फिर यहाँ से मैं निकली तो गांव के लोग बोलते कि भाग गई यहाँ से, मतलब कहीं भाग गई ऐसे करके बोलते हैं। फिर भैया बहुत गुस्से में हो गए थे। बस में जा रही थी तब घबराहट हो रही थी, मतलब मैंने सोचा कि मैं आ तो गई हूँ पर कैसे जाऊंगी, ऐसे करके सोचा था। मैं पहली बार निकली थी घर से अकेले। बस में बैठी तब ऐसा लगा कि मैं वहाँ इंदौर तो पहुँच जाऊंगी, पर फिर ऐसे सोची कि वहाँ पे पहुँच जाऊंगी तो फिर वहाँ बरली कैसे जाऊंगी। मुझे विश्वास था कि दीदी मुझे लेने आएंगे और साथ साथ में ईश्वर से प्रार्थना भी की कि भगवान मैं वहाँ पहुँच जाऊँ और दीदी दादी मुझे मिले। फिर वहाँ से जाके बस से उतरी और दीदी आ गई मुझे लेने के लिए।
तो अपन आज स्वास्थ्य से जुड़े हुए एक विषय पर चर्चा करेंगे जो है माहवारी, है ना। तो तुम लोग सब स्वास्थ्य की किताब में पढ़ चुके हो माहवारी के बारे में। आज हम उस बात पर चर्चा करेंगे कि हमारे गांव में इससे जुड़ी हुई क्या मान्यताएं, क्या माहवारी आती है तो खाना बना सकते। तुम्हारे गांव में कौन कौन खाना नहीं बना सकता, हाथ उठाओ। जब माहवारी आती है तो खाना नहीं बना सकते। अच्छा, तो तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि खाना नहीं बनाने देना ये सही है कि गलत है? नहीं बनाएगी तो अच्छा, थोड़ा आराम मिल जाएगा, कोई और बना देगा, है ना। आराम करो मस्त। जब हम उस चीज़ को ऐसे लें कि वो खाना इसलिए नहीं बना सकती क्योंकि वो अपवित्र है या अस्वच्छ है तो वो गलत है। तो ये है हमारी मानसिकता जो हमारे घर में सदियों से सालों से चली आ रही है, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं इसको बदलना ज़रूरी है। महिला को खुद अपने लिए खड़ा होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। और खुद को खड़े होने की ताकत कहाँ से आती है? अंदर से जन्म लेती है, शिक्षा से आती है। जैसे जैसे तुम शिक्षा प्राप्त करोगे तुम देखोगे कि तुम्हारी क्षमताएं जो हैं वो बढ़ रही हैं। और जैसे जैसे अपन क्षमताएं उभारते हैं प्रशिक्षण से, हमारा आत्मविश्वास बढ़ता है। Another thing which makes Burley stand apart is peer tutoring and the family relationships and bonds that we share. This helps them to feel at home and accelerates their learning process. The sisterhood is like an army, fostering bonds of love, trust, and then caring for each other.
नेक्स्ट में तुमको कुछ पूछना था ना रेखा दीदी से, क्या? और ये संस्कृत में ना थोड़ा सा तुमको परेशानी हो रही थी तो
बताना था ना। तो एक्स का एक्स और वाई से वाई वाला जो बता देना, मुझे आएगा मैं बता दूँगी। पुराने पेपर है ना उसको और देख लेना, उसको और आसानी हो जाएगी समझने। कौन से 10वीं से मेरे 10वीं में पढ़ाई करी थी ना, तो वो वाले पेपर में।
How can a girl learn to read and write in 3 months? The credit goes to the program officers who stay back after completing their 6-month course, and they become like role models for the new trainees.
पढ़ लिख कर कुछ कर सकते हैं। अगर सिलाई सीखने नहीं जाती तो मैं यहीं पे रहती, घर पे मजदूरी करती रहती। फिर सिलाई सीखने गई तो ये वहाँ जाकर भी जाना कि पढ़ना लिखना जरूरी है। साक्षरता एक सीढ़ी है।
तारू बणीस में सहारू बणीस भणीस लिखीस में मेहनत भी गोरिस भणीस लिखीस में मेहनत भी गोरिस भणीस लिखीस में हिसाब भी गोरिस भणीस लिखीस में हिसाब भी गोरिस।
This relationship becomes so strong that when the girl completes her 6-month course and is going home, she's like hugging and crying the didis whom she believes, have worked very hard to help them learn to read and write.
जब मैं बरली में शुरुआत में सिलाई सीखने गई थी ना, तो फिर हमारे अंदर उत्साह जागी, आशा जागी कि मैं बरली जाके भी पढ़ाई करूँगी। शुरुआत में मशीन पे बैठी तो मैं भगवान ये मशीन तो उल्टा फिर रहा है, मैं उसमें धागा कैसे डालूंगी ऐसे सोचती थी। जब वहाँ जाके फिर बैठी, मशीन को चलाने की प्रैक्टिस करी तो धीरे धीरे फिर पूरा मन मैंने लगाया कि मैं सिलाई करूँगी। मैं आई थी अभी दिसंबर में आई थी तो भैया को फोन लगाया तो बोले कि ऐसे ही मतलब पढ़ाई करते रहो, हमारे जैसे मजदूरी मत करो, ऐसे बोल रहे थे जब अभी आई थे जब। अब देख के बोलते हैं कि नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं लड़कियां भी।
मोबाइल नंबर बता दीजिए।
मुझे आके बहुत अच्छा लगा है और हमें लड़कियां पढ़ रही है, सिलाई सीख रही है, वो भी अच्छा लगा है। उन्हें देख के बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे।
मेरी वाइफ में शारीरिक मानसिक विकास बहुत हुआ है।
और बच्ची को 6 महीना के लिए भेजी थी तो इसका बहुत बदलाव आ गया, तो हमको बहुत खुशी हुई।
A lot has been achieved, but there is still a very long path to go. There's so much to be done in various aspects, not only education, but the environment, the health, women's security, their overall spiritual well-being.
अपन सीख के थोड़ी ना अपन कर सकते कि दूसरी भी सीखो और करो, और दूसरी लड़कियां भी सीखे तो उनके पैर पे भी खड़ी हो जाए, कम से कम वो भी आगे बढ़े।
पढ़ लिख कर अच्छे से मतलब पढ़ाई करके छोटे छोटे बच्चे रहते हैं उनको पढ़ाऊंगी, सिखाऊंगी, और बरली में बहुत सारी कहानियाँ सीखी वो भी सिखाऊंगी। आगे की पढ़ाई करके फिर टीचर बनूंगी तो बच्चे को पढ़ाऊंगी।
Well, thank you, Joel, for sharing the video, and I hope we hope that everyone enjoyed it. I think I shared the screen with our CEO, Laura Baerwolf, soon to be our managing director, conducting like an orchestra conductor, the efforts of our grassroots, our board, our staff, our supporters, our foundations, and the businesses that support us. So thank you very, very much. I wanted to say to everyone that I've seen this, we've screened this documentary in about 10, 12 cities so far, and we've few more to go. But honestly, every time I look at it, I cannot help. I mean, tears come to my eyes, knowing how, inspired, so inspired by the example. And I'll just cite Kelly as an example. That was the girl that you saw with disability. She lost her leg when she was 21, leg to polio when she was 12. And when she came to Barley at the age of 14, and I know her personally. I have been with her since she started the program, and have her see her from that shy girl that couldn't even raise her head to say her name. Now having her own sewing shop, hiring 5 people, saving enough money to buy the land, build a house as the first landowner in her village. And then with the help of her father, getting a piece of land to grow an orchard, fruit orchard, and planning to start not only an elementary school, but also the wheat grinding, solar-powered wheat grinding business on the side to remove the middleman for the local farmers, and hiring her father now in another business venture. Roaming the streets of Ali Rajpur, her village, on her red scooter. I think it's just an incredible source of joy and inspiration and pride, knowing that all the capacity was there, and all she needed was a chance for education, a holistic education that not only helped her learn to read and write and, find a trade, sewing, but also see herself as a equal person worthy of respect and dignity, and therefore leading a meaningful life that not only has uplifted herself, but has become a source of inspiration to everyone. Now every father wants to have their daughter look like Kelly. And it took $350 to educate Kelly, including room, board, food, training, certification, and a sewing machine that they gave her before she left the school. So a little goes a very long way when you have the right approach to your mission, and support the grassroots organizations who know their own issues, who know how to solve them, and just providing just the bit of support so that they can realize their own potential to be the architect of their own future, as Heifer said this morning in the plenary. So we're going to open for Q&A, and Laura, I'm going to invite you to please respond to the question that has already been posted. We encourage everyone to post to chat if you have other questions, and we'll pick it up as we come.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you, Mahnaz. And I have to agree, I've seen this film so many times, and every time, even just now, I'm just filled with such a sense of hope and appreciation and wonder and awe, at really the courage of these young women, of the amazing work that the Barley Institute is doing, and just how very grateful I am for Mona Foundation's partnership with Barley, that we're in this work with them and have been for so many years. So there are a number of questions in the chat that we can maybe take a look at quickly. The first one has to do, sorry, I got to put my glasses on so I can read carefully, was just to share a little bit more about Barley's approach and how many women get their education, are enrolled every year, what happens after they finish their education, what kind of jobs, and so on. So Parvati, thank you so much for that question. The Barley Development Institute for Rural women has been in operation since 1985. And over that time, they have enabled the education of over 10,000 women from 950 villages around Indore in India. Their approach is they provide a residential training. So they're inviting women every 6 months. It's a 6-month residential training program where women from the villages are invited. These are girls between the ages of, say, 15 or 24, around there, to come be part of their residential program, which is on literacy, of course, vocational training, and community development. Those are the 3 areas that they focus on in their curriculum. They accept about 75 girls in a cohort every 6 months, so about 150 students, trainees every year. And you saw the experience of being at Barley in the film, so I don't think I need to say much about that. But they learn about organic farming, about solar cooking. They learn about community development, about becoming protagonists and actors in the change of their own community. Each of them, in addition to the training they receive, are hosting 3 service projects in their communities when they return to their villages. And it's really a fabulous program. I've had the opportunity of visiting Barley myself and seeing firsthand not only the incredible curriculum and the students and the executive director of the program, but also just the spirit of the environment of care and encouragement, the sisterhood, that develops these strong bonds that last beyond Barley. So as you saw earlier in the film, Tahira, the executive director, was out visiting in one of the villages. And this is part of their approach as well, because they realize that for the transformation to take place, it's not just the 6 months at Barley and then the women go off, and are left to themselves, but they continue to visit the villages and to continue to visit with the trainees and the graduates of their program to assist and encourage them, to bring them together. And so these cohorts of the sisterhood within each of the villages also strengthens over time and supports one another and supports new and invites new girls to come into the program. So after their education, they have sewing machine, they have an opportunity to then get their licensure to open their own business. And many of these women, Alirajpur is the village that Kali is in as well. When we visit there are rows of seamstress shops, all run by graduates of the Barley Institute, and have such incredible businesses. And again, they support one another, and these businesses grow from not just the sewing machines. Some now are opening grocery stores, and they've added, or they're training their husbands actually how to sew. So now instead of 1 sewing machine, they have 2. And you really see over time how this ongoing support and connection through Barley is really enabling the transformation, not only of the women who go through the program, but with their families, and then the impact that it's having on communities as well, not only economically, but in really the understanding of the importance of girls' education, of the contributions that women can make to their communities. It's incredible. You can learn more about Barley Institute on our website. If you go to monafoundation.org and look for the tab Grassroots Partners, you'll see Barley listed there. On our homepage also, there's a more detailed video about the work of Barley Institute that you're welcome to watch. So another question. Oh, Mahnaz, did you want to add something? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm just saying the second question is, and perhaps you could also pick that up, is what other countries do we support in Asia, beyond India? So maybe you could also respond.
Yeah, very good. So as we saw in the intro video, over the years, we have supported dozens and dozens of grassroots organizations across the world. And currently we have 24 partner organizations in 15 countries. So in addition to India. We support organizations in Vietnam, Macau, Mongolia, South Africa, Uganda, Cameroon, the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Brazil, Colombia, Panama, Haiti, Guatemala, and as well as in the United States. So our experience and the partnerships really run the gamut of the continents, and each organization, of course, has their own approach and unique challenges, and so each has then also developed and created an approach that they see is the best to their solution to the issues that their communities are facing, and is able to take into consideration the culture, the history, the challenges, also the strengths of the communities they're in. And our partnerships long term, as Mahnaz was sharing earlier, enables also these organizations to grow and develop their own capacities so that they are also able to continue serving their communities in greater and greater ways and scaling their reach and impact over the time. In some cases, even partnering, developing relationships with their ministries of education, who then become instrumental in scaling their work and programs throughout the country that they're in. So very grateful, and it's such a learning laboratory, our world, you know, to see the work of these organizations in their communities and how very dedicated and incredible they are.
Thank you, Laura. I think one thing that just jumped to my head is that, you know, when we started Mona 25 years ago, it wasn't like we already knew everything, you know, it wasn't like we knew community-led development is the way to go. All we had in our hearts was we in this country given the privilege of access to education, and we are where we are because of the opportunity. And why not give back, you know, when it costs like $10 a month or $11 a month or $20 a month to educate a kid. And over time, our experience and the impact that these grassroots organizations are proving the point that from the very beginning that it led us, and truly, it is truly value-based, you know, because we went in there not as a funder, not as a nonprofit organization trying to, you know, feel sorry for others and go and do things for them, but also truly believing that we are all members of one human family, and every one of us is endowed with capacity to lead our own future, write our own stories, you know, be the architect of our own future. And all it's needed is a bit of support and of access, you know, access to education that changes everything. So the next question is, how do they, you know, the funds for the residential training, is it raised by various donors, by Barley? No, we provide. Mona has funded Barley in the past 14 years, and we fully support their operational costs, because the girls that come to Barley come from families earning less than $1 a day or $2 a day. It is not possible for them to even pay. Currently, I think it costs $670 to educate one girl for 6 months at Barley. So this is like $35 a month. I don't know how it is, $67 a month or something. It's nothing. This includes food, board, everything. But there is no way that they can afford it. So Mona has had the privilege to support through our very generous donors, you know, the donors that understand sustainable development, you know, that they want to raise people to lead their own development. And so we have had the privilege of doing that. Having said that, I also want to say that over time, other organizations have supported, including the Women's Association at Harvard University and others. And small amounts from local businesses that are surrounded, that are surrounding Barley, as they have come to recognize the impact of this incredible institution.
Wonderful, thank you. I wanted to add, there was a question about how we can share the video with others, which please do. It's intended to be shared. And as Mahnaz said, we'll share a password-protected link to the video after the session, but we ask that you don't publish it online because we are still premiering it around the country in different venues. Next year, it will be made available publicly on YouTube. But I also wanted to let you know about an upcoming online screening. This is our online premiere of Light and Air publicly that will be on December 14th, Saturday, December 14th at 11 o'clock. Mahnaz and the director, Marco Rios-Bollinger, will be there hosting the event. We'll show the film, and then they'll be available also for Q&A from the audience. This is actually part of our Giving Tuesday fundraising event. So we're asking for, the $11 or so donation that enables a child to be educated on average through Mona's programs for a month is the cost of entry to this online screening. We'd love to have you join us and can also share that information as well. But so if you would like to bring more people or get the word out, we'd love your help with that too. There was another question about how long did it take to build trust and comfort with the girls to be comfortable to be filmed so candidly. Well, I have to say, I think this is actually, there's probably a number of factors here. The whole filming of the video took place over 6 weeks in March of this year. So really an incredible turnaround even to go from concept to screening to a final product by October that could be shared. And I think that even over this 6-week period, the trust and comfort was probably due to a number of factors. One is just the relationship that exists with Barley and the women that have participated and our relationship with Barley over so many years. Like there is already this basis of trust and friendship and true partnership that exists that I think extends beyond just our relationship with Barley to also to all the students and women that have participated in the program. We've known Callie for 10 years since she first began as a student at Barley, and so have visited Ali Rajpur for many years. And so, yeah, that basis of trust and relationship is part of what is an essential aspect of Mona's work. The other piece, I think, also had to just do with Marco and his approach as a director and filmmaker. Such an incredible human being who, himself puts everybody at ease very quickly in his own humble, engaging way. So I think those are some of the factors maybe that helped contribute to the girls feeling comfortable to be filmed. Let me see if there are other questions here.
I think, Laura John, we're running out of time, so maybe we could encourage everyone to, if you're interested in learning about our approach a little bit, there's a paper called Evolving Approach to Philanthropy. We will post it after this, invite you to read it. It really captures our learnings in the past 25 years. And then please look us up when we are tomorrow, when we are in person, and we'd love to visit with you and answer your questions in more details and everything. But
absolutely. Please connect on Whova and we'd love to visit and meet with you all. And maybe just in closing here, just to reiterate that Mona, we envision a world where every child has access to education because we know that education changes everything. And over the past 25 years of service, we have been able to provide access to quality education to over 4.2 million students. Our goal now is to reach 10 million students by 2030. We know that giving changes the lives of others. We've just seen an amazing example of that, but it also transforms our own lives for the better. I read an article a year or so ago in the Washington Post that said there are three qualities that we all need to feel empowered to build a better world. One is hope, the second is agency, and the third is dignity. And I think for me, being able to be part of a foundation like Mona or any organization that is actually contributing in some way to the betterment of communities, supporting grassroots efforts, especially around education and girls' empowerment, that it gives me a great amount of hope. It enables me to take action and do something positive and constructive in the world when sometimes all around us, all we hear in the news are things that are just so hard to listen to and hard to take, and feel like things are just crumbling. But actually, we can take such important steps and positive action by giving ourselves, as I know all of you do in the work that you do. And I hope it also enables you to find hope and have a sense of agency and the dignity that we all work together to build this the better world that we know is possible, and that we see in the experience of Light and Air, the work that it is happening, it is changing, communities are transforming, lives are being uplifted, families are being uplifted. So thank you all for being here today. Hope to see you all tomorrow at the conference, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Laura and Mahnaz. Please, viewers, engage in the next panel, which is engaging community voices at scale. Look for it in the Whova agenda. And thanks for attending this session.
Everyone.